All right. Hello and welcome, guys. So, friendly, fat eating, brain awakening bugs. What do you think? What do you think, Sarah?
I love it.
I do too. What if there was such a thing? Well, there is, and we want to welcome everybody. I'm Robert here at my home in Granbury. Sarah is up in about as far north as you can get in Texas, Amarillo area. Welcome, Sarah. And then Carol is not too far from Sarah as well. All right, so I can't wait for you guys to hear the journey Sarah and her hubby Harold have been on and what led to that. Anywhere from it started maybe on our knees praying for some solutions, and then in Mexico, and then there was a key book, kind of an awakening epiphany, and then there was a meeting with a friend and meeting 3 new good bugs, which led to a 4th epiphany, which is a bonus epiphany. So before we go any further, Carol, could you succinctly introduce this beautiful lady?
Yes, I would love that honor. She's been a friend for a while. She has owned a health food store, but her health food store was not normal. I lived in a bigger city than she does, much larger. And I had access to lots of health food stores, but I would call her and have her ship things in for me. That's how we first met. And she would ship things in for me. After I moved up here on the lake, she would order things that I found, but then her store was just a plethora of wonderful things that worked. But anyway, she's not there anymore and she's moved on, and I'm so excited for the things she's learning now. And I'm excited that she's right here in my area. So Sarah, what else can I say about you other than you've got so much knowledge and ability and can help people to feel better, as you have both my husband and me.
And that is my goal in life. I really do like to just help people. I want to share with them what I've learned, what I have found. And so this is a great thing to get to share about.
Yes, thank you both. Thank you, Carol. So 13 years ago, there was some shifts in your life. Could you set the stage for us leading up to the 3 critters, the 3 bugs?
Yeah, so the year I turned 50, I thought, you know what, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to diet. I'm going to lose weight for my 50th birthday. And instead I gained 15 pounds. And it turns out I had 2 things going on. I got low thyroid, and I discovered I had PCOS. And so when you have those conditions, PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's just impossible to lose weight. I mean, like, you can gain overnight, but you can't lose. And so it was just a real struggle. I put on about 40 pounds, and I just struggled to, find anything that would take it off. So, and wow. I'm not a dieter. I just don't like to diet. It's no fun. So I don't. So I stay fat.
Look out. And you were eating healthy. You were taking great supplements at the time. And so you were still faced with some of these challenges. Yes. If you're watching this, raise your hand if you can relate to what what Sarah's describing. Yeah, I know we can. So my honey can as well. So let's see. Then you had some epiphanies. So one milestone was going down to Mexico.
Yes. So I got to go to a cancer symposium in California, alternative medicine cancer. And one of the things we got to do was travel to Tijuana, Mexico, to tour the cancer clinics that are down there. And so in one of the hospitals that we're in, he was telling us, we don't just treat cancer, we can do everything here. Every surgery can be done here. And he started telling us they even do fecal transplants there. And so a fecal transplant is when they take a stool specimen of a healthy person and put it in a person who maybe has a bacterial infection like C. diff, and nothing will clear it up except doing this. And this is a profound thing to think that you can take a good, healthy microbiome of a healthy person and put it in a sick person, and they get well, and they eradicate this horrible disease of C. diff or bacterial infection. So that he said, we have to carefully screen whose stool specimens we use, because he said, we found out that if you give a skinny person a fat person's bacteria, they will gain weight. And we were like, what? And so I asked the question, well, if you give a fat person, a skinny person's bacteria, would they lose weight? And everyone laughed, thinking I was just being silly. But he said, yes, they will lose weight.
Well, when I first heard you share that, I'm sure Carol can agree that it's the bacteria from somebody who is more prone to holding on to extra body fat versus not. And it was the bacteria that played a key role in that. That was a huge epiphany. And then you read a book around the skinny gut.
Yeah, so I found this book sometime later. Again, now I know gut bacteria affects weight. And I happened to stumble across this book, The Skinny Gut Diet. And it says, balance your digestive system for permanent weight loss.
For permanent weight loss.
Here it is again about gut bacteria and weight loss. So I thought maybe this will tell me what to do. And at that time, they still didn't know which bacteria help lose weight. But they just said, eat right and take fermented foods and you'll create your own bacteria.
Oh, so we had Mexico, eureka moment, bacteria played a key role, skinny to fat, fat to skinny. And now you get this book, more affirmation, more science. And
Yep.
then the third milestone is you reconnected with a friend you've known for some time, and she led you to meeting in a funny way, three good bugs. So how did that happen?
So Carol invited me to a Zoom party for Zalevo, and as Kirsty's going through all the different products Zalevo has.
By the way, Zalevo is a wellness company that we're aligned with. Okay, let's be real here.
Yes. Yeah. So she's talking about all the products, and she comes up with the Biome trim for weight loss, a gut bacteria for weight loss. And I about jumped out of my chair. I'm like, did they finally figure out which bacteria help you lose weight? And so I'm like, man, get it, order it right now. I go, and my husband and I have been taking it, and we've lost 7 pounds each. And this is just unheard of for us to lose weight. We just don't. We gain. But then, as God would have it, how he leads us. Then I'm stumbling across a podcast of a woman who's interviewing Dr. William Davis, who wrote Super Gut. Reprogram your microbiome, restore health, and lose weight. This whole book is talking about the very bacteria that's in the Biome trim that we lost weight with. And I'm like, man, we have finally discovered what bacteria will help us lose weight, and it's in that product.
Wow. So again, it keeps connecting our gut and the gut biome, and the biome is the living bacteria, the bugs in there, and in a good way. Most of us have overpopulation of the bad bugs. Let's be real. We put the good guys in who overpower. I'm using layman's terms, who overpower the bad. And then you saw they begin to metabolize the extra stored fat. And your hubby, what's a 30-second version of your hubby's brain waking up?
So 2 weeks of being on the product, he wakes up one morning and he's like, oh my gosh, I feel alive. I haven't felt this good in 50 years. And he had several brain concussions as a teenager and child, and it damaged a part of his brain, because he said all the time it feels like there's a part of my brain that never wakes up. It's numb, it's dead. And he said it's like it's woke up. And I'm like, we know the gut brain connection. I mean, that's also been well established, and all of these books talk well about that too. Depression, anxiety are very well lifted by the bacteria in our guts. And did you know skinny people have different bacteria in their gut than fat people? But so do Americans and Europeans have different bacteria than people who live indigenous diets. They have indigenous diets in remote pockets of the world. And then not only that, but we have different bacteria today than we did 100 years ago. So it's so that we get this good bacteria. And of course, the daily is also, the Biome Daily is a good full spectrum probiotic that has everything we need. And then the trim is the ones for weight loss.
Yeah, so you're awesome. We could obviously do a 2-hour live here. So for those listening, we just wanted to tee this up. Carol and I really wanted to bring you and spotlight some of Sarah's journey. Sarah, you're just getting started. It's only been a few weeks now on these formulations. Your gut is a much happier place, and you and your hubby's brains as well. So if any of this intrigues you guys, reach out to anyone who shared this, and we can supply you with some of the science and or the stories behind what we're talking about. And Sarah, wouldn't you agree? And Carol, it's validated now that the connection between our gut and a lean, and body fat storage is self-evident.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. and so many other implications and health results from there. Is there a last statement you'd like to share with everybody watching this, Sarah?
Well, again, I just want to say that not only has it helped Harold's brain, but our sleep has dramatically improved. And all the things that it said it would do, it's happening to us. So oxytocin, serotonin. So of course it's going to help our mood, and it's everything you need.
Yeah, look out. Well, yeah, a happier gut equals a happier man and women here. And thank God for delivering this into our lives. So again, get back with whoever posted this or shared this with you, and they can supply you with more details. Thank you, Carol. Love and light to you, and Miss Sarah as well. And I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you.